Welcome to Whispers and Confessions. There might be a twist waiting, so please make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's begin right away.
Have you ever felt an undeniable pull towards someone in the most unexpected place? What if that undeniable connection wasn't fate, but a meticulously planned game? Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about attraction and trust. Join me as we unravel this crazy tale. It was just another uneventful day. Mondays always suck, but this one was about to get a whole lot weirder. I kicked off the morning with a steaming cup of coffee in my cozy New York apartment. The hum of early traffic outside my window mixed with the strong bite of my cheap bodega coffee, shaking off the morning fog. I hopped in the shower and started getting ready for work, not expecting much from the day, when out of nowhere, a sharp, throbbing pain shot through my tooth. Ugh, did I mess it up chowing down on that steak at the steakhouse last week? I grumbled to myself, peering into the mirror to check the damage. The pain was unbearable, so I caved and called a nearby dental clinic to book an appointment. Let's be real, most guys like me can't stand the dentist. That grinding drrrr sound of the drill, just thinking about it sends shivers down my spine. But I couldn't ignore the ache, so I dragged myself out the door. Stepping into the clinic on a quiet Manhattan street, I pushed open the sleek door and froze for a second. The woman at the counter had this effortless beauty that stopped me in my tracks, like I'd just walked into a damn movie scene. Her name tag read Alice, and she flashed a quick, knowing smile that made my stomach drop. Those sharp blue eyes hit me first, followed by the way her uniform fit her just right. Her uniform, a standard dental scrub, somehow clung to her curves in a way that defied its mundane purpose, drawing my eyes irresistibly to the prominent swell of her chest. Damn, she's unreal, I thought, trying to look elsewhere, but my eyes kept getting pulled back to her. I reclined in the dental chair, my mind racing with nightmares of drills and needles as I gripped the armrests a little too tight. My stomach was in knots. I've always hated dentists, ever since a botched filling as a kid left me traumatized, so my hands were already clammy. Then Alice came closer. She had a mask on, hiding her mouth, but her eyes were so sharp and expressive, and her features stood out even more up close. "Just relax, Mr. Russell. This won't take long," she murmured, her voice soft and almost too close for comfort. There was a subtle pull in her warm tone. I nodded, attempting to chill out, but my heart was already picking up speed. Then, things took a wild turn. As Alice leaned over to grab her tools, her chest started grazing my shoulder. The first couple of times, I figured it was accidental. Nah, just a slip up, I told myself, trying to stay cool, but it wasn't. Every time she bent down to peek inside my mouth, I felt the soft, warm weight of her breasts pressing into my shoulder and arm. The sensation of her lush curves against my skin sent a jolt I felt everywhere. It was like a rush I couldn't ignore, making my whole body tingle with excitement. Is this seriously happening right now? I wondered, eyes shut tight, but I couldn't resist cracking them open just a sliver to steal a glance at her face. Up close, her gaze seemed to cut right through me, and the slight upward tilt of her eyes oozed a dangerous charm. Part of me felt guilty for even noticing. Hell, this was a clinic, not a bar, but I couldn't stop myself. My heart was hammering in my chest, and a spark shot through me. Down below, I could feel a buzz, my pants suddenly way too tight. My mind screamed professional environment, but my body, a disobedient subordinate, was already staging a full-blown rebellion. Each time her soft, full breasts brushed against me, a sharp urge hit me hard, impossible to tame, and I could feel sweat prickling my forehead. This woman's got me completely rattled. This feeling, this shaking, I can't hold it together. My mind was consumed, fixated on every inch of her. Alice must have picked up on the weird vibe. She paused for a beat and shot me a quick look. A mischievous spark flickered in her eyes as she looked away, almost too shy. Does she know exactly what she's doing? The thought hit me like a ton of bricks. After the procedure, as I headed to the desk to settle the bill, Alice trailed behind. Her fingers grazed my arm just long enough to notice as she leaned in, whispering softly in my ear, "Mr. Russell, did I catch you off guard today? Sorry if I was a little clumsy." Her tone felt less like an apology and more like a teasing flirt. The faint smirk on her lips and the way her eyes lingered on me made my pulse spike all over again. On the walk home, I couldn't shake her. Those eyes, that voice, wouldn't leave my head. A few days later, I was back at the clinic to wrap up my treatment. Alice was there, and the second our eyes locked, she flashed a radiant smile. "Mr. Russell, you made it. I've been looking forward to seeing you." My chest tightened at her words. "Looking forward to me?" I echoed in my head, caught in her warm grin. We stepped into the treatment room again, and sure enough, I felt that same soft graze against my shoulder. As she leaned in, she murmured, "You're holding up better this time," with a smirk I couldn't miss. Each time her breasts brushed my skin, my body trembled with raw anticipation. That warm, tender contact was pulling me in like I had no choice. As she leaned over to inspect my mouth, the weight of her full, heavy chest pressing into my shoulder was almost too much to handle. A sudden buzz surged through me, and that same damn urge flared up again. No doubt about it this time. She's doing this on purpose, I told myself, convinced. This woman's playing me like a fiddle. This sensation is too damn intense. I crave more. Deep down, I was utterly, irrevocably lost to her. After the session, Alice stood close, a soft grin on her lips, and asked, "Mr. Russell, once we're done with your treatment, want to grab a coffee sometime?" My heart slammed against my ribs. Her eyes were gentle but packed with intensity, and I nodded without a second thought. That's how we ended up outside the clinic at a quaint little cafe in Manhattan. Ditching the white uniform, she wore a snug gray knit top that showed off a whole new side of her natural, effortless charm. Every time our eyes met, her subtle grin had me getting pulled in deeper. Taking a sip of her coffee, she broke the silence. "Honestly, Mr. Russell, I couldn't take my eyes off you from the moment I saw you. So, yeah, I brushed against you on purpose. Wanted to see if you'd notice," she said with a playful shrug. My mind just blanked, and I couldn't string a sentence together. "Oh, got it," I mumbled, while inside, I was floored, torn between being weirded out and weirdly thrilled she'd planned it. She gazed straight into my eyes and added, "From the day you walked in for treatment, I just felt something. Your eyes, your lips. I was so drawn to you." Her voice carried a raw honesty that shook me to my core. The next few dates were a blur of intense connection and growing unease. Alice was intoxicating, but there was an undercurrent of something I couldn't quite pinpoint. During our initial dates, I'd find myself scrutinizing her every gesture, every fleeting expression, trying to decipher if her intensity was genuine or a calculated move. One evening, after a cozy dinner at a little spot near her apartment, we headed to her place. The door barely clicked shut before she yanked me close. "Russell, I've been dying for this all day," she breathed, her voice dripping with fire and need. Her hand slid around my neck, and her lips crashed into mine. The scorching, wet heat of her mouth devouring mine sent a rush that blanked out everything else, like losing myself in the moment. I gripped her waist, pulling her tight against me, her full, heavy breasts pressing hard into my chest, driving me absolutely wild. For a split second, I hesitated. Should I even be here? But her touch wiped every doubt away. As her fingers tugged off my shirt and traced over my bare skin, the warmth and teasing tickle of her touch made every nerve in my body light up. "Alice, you're burning me up," I gasped, barely able to catch my breath. She smirked playfully and whispered in my ear, "Russell, you're making me lose my mind too." We stumbled into the bedroom, and she shoved me onto the bed, peeling off my pants with hungry hands, leaving me completely exposed. Her eyes burned with raw lust as she looked me over. "Russell, you're incredible," she purred in a low, raspy voice. She climbed on top of me, her body melding perfectly with mine. As she rode me slowly, the wet, relentless suction of her core gripped me tighter with each deliberate thrust, sending electric currents surging through every nerve. "Fuck, Alice, this feels unreal." I groaned, my hands clamping down on her hips. Her breaths came out ragged, her body rocking against mine with a primal rhythm. Each time her breasts mashed against my chest, each time her searing breath hit my neck, I sank deeper into a haze of unfiltered pleasure. Russell, I can't hold on anymore, she panted into my ear. Right then, her body shuddered hard, wrapping me in her completely. A searing rush and insane high hit me all at once, and we hit that peak together. The overwhelming rush of bliss hit me hard, my mind blanking out as I lost myself in the moment. Alice, I can't even put this into words, I rasped, pulling her close as I tried to catch my breath. The feel of her sweat-slicked skin against mine had me hooked, totally addicted. This woman's wrecking me. This pleasure, this raw emotion, there's no escaping it. Inside, I was a tangled mess of lust and turmoil over her. But back then, I had no clue this was just the start. That cafe moment is burned into my memory. But even then, something felt off, like I was diving into something I couldn't control. This is way more than just a passing attraction, I realized. That night, we stood in the alley outside the clinic, locked in each other's gaze. She broke the silence first. "Mr. Russell, want to be with me?" Her eyes were dead serious, and for a split second, I couldn't breathe. Usually, it's the guy catching feelings and making the first move, but this was a first. I nodded and said, "Yeah, Alice. I'm into you too." That night, I headed home riding a high, totally different from any other day. The next morning, a text from her popped up. "You free tonight? Let's grab dinner." And just like that, we were a thing. What started as a dental staff and patient dynamic morphed into something new as lovers. Even early on, her texts came fast and frequent, which I brushed off as cute. At first, it felt electric, like a buzz I couldn't get enough of, and I was happy. But not long after we got together, uneasy thoughts started nagging at me. Why'd she move so fast? Why me out of everyone? Don't get me wrong, being wanted and flirted with as a guy feels damn good. But Alice was intense, almost too much. I was floored by her boldness, torn between being weirded out by her calculated move in the treatment room and oddly pumped she'd picked me. Slowly, that intensity started freaking me out. Even at the clinic, with other patients around, I'd catch her giving me special smiles and talking to me in a softer, warmer tone. I couldn't shake the feeling that other staff members were eyeing us, whispering behind cupped hands. What if someone notices? I half joked, and she widened her eyes, saying, "Who cares? If anyone says anything, I'll just admit I fell for a patient." Her tone was light, but her stare was dead serious. She obviously liked me and wasn't shy about showing it. But I started wondering if this was more than just a casual thing for her. Take her neediness and fixation, for example. We hadn't been dating long, but if I took too long to text back, she'd blow up my phone with calls. Even after my treatment ended, she kept pushing me to swing by. At first, it was adorable. But soon, I started asking myself, is this even normal? One night, I had a work dinner. Of course, a few female coworkers were there. Mid-dinner, she called, "Where are you?" Her voice was sharp as a knife. "At a work dinner," I answered coolly. "Are there women there?" she pressed. "Yeah, it's the whole team, so obviously," I said with an awkward chuckle. There was dead silence on the line, just her breathing, before she snapped, "Russell, send me your location." Now, annoyance burned through me. Why the hell do I need to send this? Deep down, frustration, distrust, and straight-up fear bubbled up. Her texts were relentless, grilling me on where I was, who I was with. She claimed it wasn't because she didn't trust me, but because she cared too much, but this felt more like stalking than love. After hanging up, I couldn't even enjoy the night and trudged home, feeling drained. Is this relationship even okay? Her fixation is choking me more every day. My mind was drowning in anxiety. More and more, I questioned why I was still there, allowing this suffocating possessiveness to take root. One day, I visited her place for the first time. Her tiny studio in Brooklyn was neat as a pin, with cute frames and trinkets on the walls. But then, a photo tucked away on a bookshelf grabbed my attention. It was me, lying in the dental chair on my first visit. My gut twisted when I saw it. What the hell is this? I asked, my voice shaky with shock. Seeing that photo, I felt violated, like I'd been watched without knowing. She gave a small smile and said, "Oh, it's not some creepy shot. It's just a screenshot from the clinic's CCTV. I was so hyped that day, I saved it." Her smile seemed innocent, but a cold chill ran through me. Still, a sliver of unease, a cold knot, tightened in my gut. Why would she print this and keep it at home? Her feelings for me weren't just some simple crush. This was kinda messed up. "Am I making you uncomfortable?" she asked, probably catching the weird look on my face. I stumbled over my words, saying, "No, it's not that." She went quiet for a sec before dropping a bombshell. "Truth is, I got burned bad dating a patient before." I was floored and asked, "For real?" She nodded and continued, "Yeah, he came onto me first, and I fell hard without even realizing it. But in the end, he dumped me after a month, saying I was just the help." Her eyes weren't the bright, carefree ones I first saw. There was a dark shadow in them now. A flicker of something else, something calculating, crossed her features as she spoke. "So this time, I took the lead," she admitted, spilling every detail of that day in the treatment room. "Brushing against your shoulder? Totally on purpose. I was dying to see how you'd react. And when you peeked at me with those half-shut eyes, I thought it was so damn cute. That's when I knew, this guy's my type." Her words were raw and real, but that honesty scared me even more. Did she genuinely like me? Or was this just a repeat of some twisted pattern? What's her real deal? Does she actually care about me? Or am I just another game? My head was a mess of doubt and confusion. The second I got home after the work dinner, there she was, waiting at my door. "I came to your office. I was too worried." She stared at me, eyes brimming with tears. Right then, a storm of emotions hit me. Pity, fear, attraction, frustration, excitement, and the urge to walk away, all at once. "Russell, I'm trying so hard. I want this to last. I'm not some crazy chick. But after getting hurt before, I can't help being like this." She laid it all bare, and that made it scarier. It felt like she was begging me to accept her neediness. Was this love, dependency, or straight-up control? I couldn't tell. "Alice, I get where you're coming from, but this is too much. I'm suffocating," I thought, looking at her. I knew it was wrong, illogical even, but the sheer thrill of being wanted so intensely by someone so captivating overrode every alarm bell in my head. What started as a random encounter in the treatment room, it wasn't random at all. She had a specific reason for picking me from the get-go. After that day, I decided to face the ugly truth of this relationship. She said she was into me, but I sensed she was hiding something big. So, I started spending more time with her on purpose, watching her tone, her moves, her looks, everything. And then, I stumbled on a game changer. While she stepped into the bathroom, a notification from the clinic staff's group chat flashed on her phone, sitting on the table. My eyes snagged on a recent message, bolded and jarring. "Alice, another patient on the hook? He's definitely your type. All muscle, just like the last one." My breath hitched. Then another. "So how was he last night? Your shoulder brush is getting old. Try the thigh next time for a new record." I was stunned, unable to process it. She'd targeted me, just some random patient, with a plan. I wasn't special. It wasn't fate or chemistry. I was just another mark. I wasn't anything unique to her. Just a pawn in her messed up game. Inside, betrayal and rage tore through me. When she came back, smiling and trying to chat, I didn't play along. "You had me pegged from the start, didn't you?" I asked, voice ice cold. She didn't flinch, not really. Instead, a slow, predatory smile spread across her lips. "Caught me, huh?" she purred, her voice laced with chilling amusement. "I figured you'd catch on eventually. Just hoped it'd last longer." Gone was the sweet, innocent smile. Instead, her face was hard and blank as she said, "Russell, I didn't mention this, but this isn't my first rodeo. I've done this before. Thought you'd be different." "Guess not." I let out a bitter laugh and asked, "So what was all this?" Me getting hyped, fantasizing, burning up inside. Was that all just my imagination? She nodded and said, "You wanted me to. I love being in control. Don't kid yourself into thinking this was love. We just had fun. I sure as hell enjoyed you. How about you? In that moment, the memory of the first day in the treatment room, when her body brushed mine, flashed back. That weird rush, the buzz, the sharp urge, was it all fake? My mind reeled. Those scorching moments, the breathless highs, her slick skin against mine, the raw intensity as she took me in deep. Was every damn second of it just a performance? A sick, twisted act? I stood up without a word. We're done, I said flat out. She laughed and tossed out. Guess I'll step up my game with the next patient. Shoulders old news. Maybe I'll go for the thigh next time. Walking out of the clinic, a strange sense of freedom hit me, mixed with a bitter aftertaste I couldn't shake. I wasn't chosen. She picked me. All that excitement was staged, and my feelings were just toys in her hands. I only saw it now. That boring Monday taught me a lesson about discernment I'll never forget, a stark reminder that some games are played for keeps. The world, it turns out, is full of truths you wouldn't believe, especially when they're hidden behind the most captivating smiles.